Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to do some an unedited LuuLuu because I got some stuff in my head, right? But I need to do my skincare. So we're going to have a skincare and so we're going to do morning skincare and unedited LuuLuu. I know y'all excited. Get excited, y'all. Okay, so anyway, let's go. Gotta drink my water. I accidentally put ice in it. I normally don't. So let's go. All right. I can tell you my products as we go along. So I've been using this Snail Rescue Blemish Busting Toner. It has snail mucin concentrate like Khye. The difference is it has not broke me out. The Khye has something in it that broke me out. Or maybe the concentration was just a little bit higher. I don't know. But this works really well on my skin. So here we go. All right, so let's get to talking. Now, you have seen the name of the unedited LuuLuu. Because I decided let's just do this as a video. Because I've been talking about this for a minute. So I'm just going to ramble, talk about it, give you the points that I have for it. And you all feel free to add your comments in, add your thoughts on it. Okay, so here we go. So anyway, I have been saying for a while, so let's talk about why I call it the how do I want to say this? The unsustainability of female Fragcomm. So let me give y'all a little background for the people who don't know. I've been doing videos for quite some time, about 2017. I started out in the beauty space, right? Was in it, buying the products, getting it. Just, new releases coming out. I'm trying to decide which ones I'm going to get. Rushing to get it. Trying to get my video out so I can be in that, first wave or no later than the second wave of people talking about it. Makeup discontinued. Can't talk about it anymore. Oh my God. What am I going to do? Yeah. All those things, right? And about 2019, toward the end of 2019, I started getting bored with it and tired because it was just draining me. It was so draining. It was like, whoa, So we're going to use this Pink Drink Essence by Sunday Riley. Spoiler alert, this is going to be in my next favorites because I'm loving it. So you have to spray. It's a spray. I do 3 sprays, put it on my skin. Okay, so anyway, was getting bored with it. Was tired of it, the whole, oh my God, I gotta rush, I gotta try and use these products, I gotta do this. It was too much for me. It started to get boring. I was like, this is too much. And it was like, why am I rushing to get everything like everybody else? So I started, all of a sudden I just started watching. I stumbled on, real talk, Jeremy Fragrance. And then I think I saw Beauty Meow, Arlene, Delicious Delights, and a few other people. And I started watching their videos. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I started vibing back into fragrances, which I've always loved fragrances. And so then with that, I started looking around. And what I found, it was like a very chill atmosphere doing those videos. There was no rush. It wasn't this whole, I've got to rush and get it. It wasn't all of that. People were showing fragrances. And I was like, wow, this is cool. Because it was like the beauty that I found in it was that people were showing vintage, fragrances. Fragrances that had been out for a long time. It was like I was learning about all kinds of stuff, right? Which then I started loving. And I shifted naturally. It wasn't because I was looking for views or anything, but I just shifted to it because I was more interested in it at that time. So makeup took a back seat, which of course I'm trying to balance that out and bring some more makeup back in because I'm starting to love my makeup again. But it took a back seat, and then we went into the pandemic, which lost my mind buying fragrances then. And then I started talking to people about them, and we were just having a good time chit-chatting, and it was like, whoa, okay, here we go. So next up, let's put on some eye cream. This eye cream I'm using right now is my Perfumers Cone Plasma Plus eye cream. This is one of my favorites. So, it was like, okay, so I naturally moved into doing videos. Now, of course, with the pandemic, a lot of people were doing videos because they was bored and they was at home. It was, that time. So at the time I said there's going to be, and as we started moving out of the pandemic, I said, which was true, a lot of the people that were doing videos were going to disappear because this was something they were doing then because they couldn't do anything else. Life, we was lifing at home. So in order to have a social life, people were on YouTube because y'all know, there were so many YouTube video creators. There were so many that have gone. We ain't heard from them since. And that's fine. All right. So now we're moving forward. Now, the beauty community, their views are going down. People are bored with them and everything. And then they're starting to see, hey, this fragrance thing, they're getting a lot of views. People are watching them. So now they're starting to migrate into this area. All of a sudden, beauty people who never talked about fragrances, all of a sudden, my favorite fragrances. Oh my God. Now, there were some people who would every once in a while talk about fragrances, but the majority of them never did. And y'all know I ain't lying. You wouldn't even see the shit on a vanity table. You saw nothing that said they like fragrances. But then all of a sudden, they are fragrance consumers. And I'm talking about women, the female side. So now we're getting new people doing videos. We're getting new people who are excited to do it. But you also have the beauty people involved now. And with that, started becoming the beauty marketing hype, the beauty creator hype, which is all about the brand new, the most trending, and talking about that and being on top of that. So then you started seeing that happen. I'm about to put on my vitamin C serum, which is SoulCeuticals. This is a Korean one. So anyway, you started seeing that happening. Oops, I didn't open it yet. Okay, so you started seeing that happening a lot. Now we're sitting here. So now there's starting to become this beauty hype vibe, which is, oh my God, something new is coming out. I've got to run and get it. I've got to do a video about it. I've got to talk about it. I've got to get the brand new. It's brand new. It's out. I've got to get it. I've got to get it. That is the beauty YouTuber thing, because that is the way it is in beauty YouTube. When new products come out, when new launches, you've got to be on top of it. You've got to do it. So that started bleeding in to the fragrance community. Before then, it was like no big deal. You got something new, cool, but you would still be talking about something that you've had forever, and it wasn't a big huge rush. People weren't like, oh my God, oh my God. And because of that, now we're in this space where this is the way it is. And you can tell it is. Let me give you a couple of examples of it just to be clear. So y'all are going, what are you talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about Beyonce Say Noir. People immediately bought it. Why? Because it was Beyonce. And then people were rushing to get it. They were waiting for it to drop so that they could do their reviews, to the point that people were in their feelings if they felt like they weren't getting it quick enough so that they could do their reviews. So that, Khye does that type of marketing, which makes sense because she's coming from Huda Beauty, which is a beauty brand, which is entrenched in beauty marketing. Huda just came out with a fragrance, and the same exact shit's happening with it. So so of course we got to bring up the hype. We got to send out PR. We got to do all those things to get our name out, and everybody's hyping. And oh my God, I've got to get it as soon as it comes out. Why? It's gonna be there, but it has been created again that you got to be on top of it. You got to get all these fragrances. You've got to be with the ones that are trending, that everybody's talking about. You need to be getting it so you can put your opinion in and everything. And so here we are again in a beauty space, even though it's fragrance. So, and I have to be honest, and I've said it over and over again, it's kind of like been irritating me and getting me to this point that I don't even feel like, why should I even do things, because everything is based on this, and this is not how I roll. You know, I like the fact that we buy when we want to, and you know, people ain't tripping and wait. But now, in order to be popular, you have to do those things. You have to be on top. You got to be getting that PR. You got to be doing these things. It makes you, you know, it's all about the flex. Buying the most, you know, now all women are into niche. So now we got to get the newest niche. We got to do this. Now, let's just talk about why I said the unsustainability of female Fragcomm. Because of this pace. It's about this pace and about the expectations. Listen, people are trying so hard to be on point, to be popular, that they are breaking themselves off. One thing about makeup is some of this stuff that you know you got to try, or whatever your lane you're in, is pretty inexpensive. You can buy, you know, lip gloss for $7, $10. Most of the things that are beauty related, are even the ones that are more luxury, don't compare to what you're paying for. And when you're talking about fragrances, when you start getting into these fragrances, you are now putting yourself in this position where you're buying $150, $200, $300 bottles. And when you are trying to be on top, you're not waiting for the prices to go down. You are sitting there, you're rushing out to get it right away, which then means you are paying full retail, or damn near close to full retail. So therefore, it becomes unsustainable when you're putting out that outlay. Unless you got the money for it, you can't maintain this frenetic pace. That's number one. You cannot keep up with the pace, right? Because eventually it's going to be like, wow, I've spent all this money, and it wears you out, and you start looking and going, oh shit. The other thing is just the sheer magnitude of the size of these things and storing them. So now then you have everybody trying to buy it, use it, resell it, buy it, use it, resell it, so that they can keep sustaining this whole thing they're doing. That's one. Number two, in order to be popular, people are now trying to get on PR lists, which means that they are now sometimes compromising what they think about fragrances, what they're saying, in order to get the PR, because they need to offset some of this amount that they're spending. Let's just be honest. That's the reality of it. Part of the reason why everybody, A, it looks good that you're getting PR, but B, it also means that it's one less bottle that you have to buy. So everybody's rushing to get the PR. You know, they want to get on these PR lists, which means you have to play nice, because these brands now are not, they expect you to jump through some hoops. They want you to be nice all the time. They want you to say glowing things about their products. They want to dictate what you do with this PR, this free bottle of fragrance. This free bottle of fragrance. So with that happening, so now everybody is, you know, so now we're in a space where you having to think about how you're going to talk about things. You have to think about, you know, how to say it's okay, even if you don't like it. Things like that, which will make you a little stressful. And then it also makes it seem like you never say anything wrong, because you don't want brands to see you as somebody who's negative. You want to make sure that they see you as this positive person who who will be great to work with. Now, the other part of that is then, like I said, the pricing of it. So we are priced out, a lot of us, a lot of people, because they are so busy trying to buy the newest thing, the greatest thing. I mean, like, everybody was buying guidance at full retail because you couldn't find it any place at a good price. So now I don't own Guidance. Why? Because it hasn't hit at a price that I'm willing to pay. But so many people ran to get it because, oh my God, everybody's talking about it. Let's get it. And so it's becoming this space now where you're starting to see the backlash of it, where you're starting to see it wearing thin on people. I said this was coming. I said it was coming. It came a little faster than I expected, but I expected it toward the end of the year to start happening, but it's starting earlier because now there's some people who have started making videos in reference to the unsustainability of it. Claire Smith did the thing about why you shouldn't trust influencers, which got everybody in their feelings and everything. But there is so much that's happening, people, creators who are kind of popular are making statements about PR and everything and things like that. And people are starting to say these things. And so now it's starting to fall apart. Because from the creator side, it's not happening for y'all, it's happening for the creators, because the creators are now seeing that, wow, I don't know if I can sustain this. Is it really worth it? Things like that. Because of the things that I have been saying for months that had to stop and creators needed to pull back from in order to make it work for them. See, I own a lot, and yes, I need to stop buying as much, but it doesn't affect me to the extent because I buy what I like. I'm not rushing to buy something to be part of the in crowd. I'm not rushing to, buy the latest so that I can be one of the first to talk about. I'm not doing any of that. So therefore, I'm okay. But it also took me a minute to get here because there was this, maybe I should just stop making videos because I'm really not in that space of where people want to see, not necessarily popularity, of where people really want to see my content. It's like, what's the point in putting out content if no one really wants to watch it, right? I could still buy my fragrances just like everybody else does and chill. But I had to get to this point and say, okay, I like doing this and I have to do it the way I like, and I'm not, and stop more, and it'll be what it'll be, right? And just lean into who I am as a person who loves fragrances, who likes to purchase them, who likes makeup. So now I am at a space where I'm okay with not buying them. Well, I never was that person anyway, but I'm okay with not being watched. I'm okay with it being what it is because I refuse to compromise on that, because I'm not going to not be me in order to gain views, in order to get on PR lists, in order to get all of those things that everybody is aspiring to. I'm okay with not having it, because as long as I can be me on here, I'm cool. And so what we're going to see is the crumbling and the unsustainability of female Fragcomm. Because understand, this doesn't affect the male Fragcomm, because guess what? They're not doing this. They get new fragrances. Okay, fine. No one is feeling this rush. The whole community, and I'm saying the whole community, doesn't feel this rush to run out and buy the brand new things. If they get it, fine. If they don't, fine. We as women fall into this because we now have allowed it to become like the beauty community. And on top of it, because of the influx of sales that have come up, because so many women are starting to buy so much fragrance. Before You can have a whole channel and you can talk about designer fragrances. You could talk about celebrity fragrances and you would be okay. Now with the influx of TikTok, with everybody looking at these things, and now they're watching them on YouTube and the beauty YouTubers are talking about it. There's been this influx of women, this increase in female fragrance sales. I promise you, I don't even have to look. I know it is because I can see how we're shopping. And if you watch videos and you're on TikTok, you know how people are shopping. You know how you are shopping now. So with it, our pricing, all the pricing has increased tremendously. I mean, I'm looking like, God damn, I didn't even notice some things. Like, for instance, designer fragrances, 100 mils are $180. Almost every last one of them are coming in right around 160, anywhere from 150 to 180. That is a huge jump from even almost like maybe it started almost a year ago. But right, it was like 120 was the big bottles, y'all. Let's not forget, that's a huge jump. That's not 10%. That's like, doing the math, that's about almost 50% increase in pricing. From going from 120 to 180, that's a $60. That's a 50% increase. That is a huge percentage to increase something. But they're doing it because you always charge what the market will bear. And so people are running out to buy these fragrances. So those prices are going to keep going up because people are going, oh, let's do it. So all these things have created this unsustainability in female Fragcomm. It really has, because women can't, the average person who's doing, especially the female creators that are smaller, that aren't, that haven't grown, but are trying to grow so they can be on this level with all these other people. Now they're trying to get there, which means they're overspending, rushing, stressing themselves out, trying to make sure they are, getting what will help make them grow fast. But the thing about YouTube is you never know. 5 people could do the same type of video and one could blow up and one could get 100 views. So it's nothing that you can predict. Doing all this won't necessarily make you grow any faster. All it does is make your pockets flatter. So watch what's going to happen. We're going to see a lot of creators either disappearing or discussing why it's a struggle and why they need to pull back and why they need to do things differently and all those things. And watch, and so see what I'm saying. So now I decided to do this video because I talk about this stuff all the time, and I see a lot of people using some of the things I talk about. So I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of times we just chat about it in the live streams and it's so deeply embedded. Not everybody catches it. So I just wanted to put all the points out there so that you all can see what I'm talking about. Watch the Mercaris. Watch everybody decluttering because people are going to be doing a lot of decluttering, and it is happening now. Watch how fast watch how much they love some things, and then watch and see, do they love it at the end of the year? Because this is all about what is popular, what is trendy, and let me get people watching me. So this is unsustainable in the long run, just like the beauty community has suffered. Now, unfortunately, it's going to happen faster in female Fragcomm because of the price points. So you're seeing it much faster than you've ever seen it in the beauty community. And you're seeing also that people are getting exhausted and tired of watching these videos. And we're hitting that point that the beauty community hit a few years ago where everybody started going, everybody's doing PR, blah, blah, blah. So now people are noticing it, and which is going to affect the views. So remember this, my creators, what I'm saying, So before you keep rushing to buy those things, start figuring out what do you bring to the table, and what do you really want to talk about, besides trying to rush and be on that treadmill running in place and not getting anywhere. All right, that's my unedited for today. I hope y'all have a fabulous Monday. Talk to you later.